So in a new interview, Arnold Schwarzenegger, talking to ET, comes out and says, I was using testosterone at 100 milligrams a week and 3 Dianabol a day, which was 15 milligrams, all under a doctor's supervision.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is also telling all in the new issue of Men's Health. Did he do steroids? Yes, 100 milligrams of testosterone a week plus 3 pills a day under a doctor's supervision.
Terminator has now come out and said that he was using testosterone at 100 milligrams a day, 15 milligrams a day of Dianabol, and that's all he took, and it was always under a doctor's supervision, and he's very concerned about modern influencers telling other people what they should be taking. Now, that I do agree with, but in all honesty, Arnold, nobody believes you. Now, I gotta be honest with you, no matter what your genetic potential is, 100 milligrams and 15 milligrams of Dianabol is not gonna get you to 6 Mr. Olympia titles. Not gonna happen. And he had the nerve to say that it was all under a doctor's care. Now, I don't know what's going on with him and Platts and these guys, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not buying any of this stuff. And I don't know if these guys, number one, are trying to preserve their legacy where they realize they're facing their mortality. They're 75, 80 years old, and they realize life is coming to an end and I have to amend for my stuff or something. But dude, if you want to preserve your legacy, tell the truth. Because we all know the stories of Joe Weider having boxes in his office on shelves with different bodybuilders' names on them. Bertil Fox, Danny Padilla, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and different guys. Because the man himself was making sure the guys were getting the drugs they needed. Now, again, back in that day, it wasn't illegal like it is now. But don't tell us you were under a doctor's care when we know that's just not the case. And 100 milligrams and 15 milligrams of Dianabol, dude, seriously, that is delusional. So I thought this could be a couple of issues with Arnold. Maybe he's losing his mind and he thinks that he did that at one point. Maybe as we get older, we know we try to maximize our accomplishments and minimize our shortcomings. Maybe that's the case. Or maybe he is like the 1972 Miami Dolphins who had a perfect season. Maybe he's like they are. And any time in the NFL somebody comes close to a perfect season, what happens? The Miami Dolphins those guys go crazy and they start talking about how they were the best and they were the GOAT. Maybe that's what's going on with Arnold. Maybe he's just trying to stay in there as the king of bodybuilding. Then I thought, well, maybe he's trying to prove, like it seems like Tom Platts and a lot of those other guys are, that those guys did more with less. And that really seems to be a common theme with those guys. Oh, well, back in our day, we did this and this and this, and we didn't have all of that. No, I get it. But there again, you weren't as big as the guys are now. Maybe they're just trying to defend their generation. You know, those guys, those were my friends, those were my guys I went to war with. Okay, I get that. But let's tell the truth. And the truth is, you are not taking 100 milligrams of testosterone only and 15 milligrams a day of Dianabol. You weren't dieting on that stuff. There were other drugs that were available, and we know that all those guys were using them. It wasn't just testosterone and Dianabol back then. Bottom line is, Arnold has now become a meme. He is literally somebody's grandpa sitting on the porch telling old war stories about when he was the greatest, about how, you know, like your grandpa. Well, maybe not like your grandpa, because I doubt your grandpa has 6 Mr. Olympia titles. And he is telling stories that we know are not even remotely true. For instance, my grandpa used to tell us this story. We used to walk 10 miles to school. and it was really, really hot all the time, or we did it in 6 feet of snow, and we walked to school in all kinds of weather, and it was uphill both ways, and or my grandpa telling me what a great football player he was back in the day, and how when he was a football player, he rushed for 297 yards and set a school record, and he was phenomenal guy. And he was this phenomenal football player that could have gone to college and could have gone to the pros. And yet, come to find out, he played middle school football, and most of the time, he rode the bench. So I think what you have here is Arnold is your grandpa. And he's telling stories, and he's trying to stay relevant. And Arnold, let me just say something. Ronnie Coleman is always going to be the GOAT. But you, like Elvis... Only rivers flow. Oh, not that Elvis, the other Elvis. You ain't nothing but... You'll always be the king. But just tell us the truth. We don't want to hear all of this fantasy. And I'm going to write down below in the comments down here, I'm going to write what I think Arnold was actually doing, given the drugs they had during his time and what I know about drugs that you would have to take to get those kind of results. And I want you to write what you think he was taking, or if you think I'm completely crazy. Please like, subscribe, comment. It helps the algorithm. That's a quick hitter. We'll see you next time.